Time travel. Just the thought of it sparks the imagination. Venturing into the past or leaping into the future sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? But what if you could just jump back to the past with the press of a button, to that crucial moment you wish you had done differently, or maybe you'd like to revisit a happy memory? On the other hand, perhaps you are more curious about what the future has in store for humanity and would like to see if we will ever live among the stars and have space travel available like Elon Musk envisioned. Well, scientists have been curious too, and they've studied this subject heavily over the years. Could it all be science fiction, or is there a nugget of truth hidden among all the scientific theories about time travel? Let's dive in and find out. Time travel isn't a new idea. Ancient myths from various cultures have stories about people moving forward in time. The Japanese legend of Urashima Taro tells the story of a fisherman who journeys to an undersea palace. Upon his return, he discovers that decades have passed in what felt like just a few days, illustrating a form of time displacement. A form of time travel is also a recurring theme in several religions. For example, in Islam, the Quran tells the story of the 7 sleepers, a group of young men who hid in a cave to escape persecution. According to the story, they slept for centuries, and when they awoke, they discovered a changed world. This shows divine protection and time suspension. A similar story appears in Christian mythology, in which a group of young men sought to escape Roman persecution. In our modern era, scientists have developed all kinds of theories about whether someone could travel back and forth in time, but according to them, time travel is not quite like what Hollywood shows us. You can't just step into a time machine, press a button, and instantly appear among ancient dinosaurs and cavemen, knights in armor guarding castles, or cowboys from the Wild West. That's more like time teleportation, a topic for another day. So, back to time travel. According to scientists, it's totally possible. You're actually doing it right now. As you move on with your day, you're traveling forward in time. How much you travel depends on your speed, thanks to Einstein's special theory of relativity. According to Einstein's theory, in simpler terms, the faster you move, the slower time flows for you. And let's not forget gravity, which plays a role too. The stronger the gravitational force around you, the slower time ticks. Take skydivers, for example. These daredevils jump from planes and experience all kinds of sensory stimuli, including a warped sense of time. As they plummet towards Earth, they accelerate to their terminal velocity, a constant speed they maintain as they fall. Skydivers often describe their freefall as if time itself is slowing down. But let's be real, that's no way to travel years into the future. So what could actually help us leap forward or backward in time? Wormholes. The concept of wormholes dates back to 1935 when physicists Albert Einstein and Nathan Rosen theorized about bridges in spacetime, referring to them as Einstein-Rosen bridges. Before we continue, let's clarify one important aspect. Wormholes are not the same as black holes. A black hole is a region in spacetime where gravity is so strong that it forms a celestial vacuum, pulling everything nearby towards it. It's a place where light and everything else can't escape. Imagine falling into a black hole by mistake. You'd get spaghettified, literally stretched into a long noodle, not a pleasant way to travel through time. A wormhole, on the other hand, is like a cosmic shortcut, a bridge between 2 points in spacetime. Step in one end and pop out the other. Think of it as a tunnel connecting distant points in space and even time. In theory, a wormhole could link places billions of light years apart or just a few meters away. It might even connect different universes or different points in time. Traveling through a wormhole would mean moving faster than light because you're basically taking a shortcut. But here's the catch. We don't know how to open a wormhole yet, and even if we did, they'd be incredibly unstable. Stabilizing a wormhole theoretically requires exotic matter with negative energy density, a substance we currently have no means of producing or controlling. This means that even if we found an actual wormhole and you were to step inside, you'd be in immense danger. The tunnel could collapse after you arrive, leaving you stranded, or worse, it could close while you're still inside. However, advancements in quantum physics and general relativity continue to bring new insights. Just imagine if wormholes were found to be practical. They could revolutionize space travel, allowing us to explore distant parts of the universe faster than the speed of light. This would also transform how we understand and experience time. though based on what we know about wormholes, for now, it's best to steer clear of them. With wormholes off the table, let's explore another intriguing possibility to travel through time: time machines. The idea of time machines can be traced back to a book written in 1895 by H.G. Wells, simply called The Time Machine, which ignited public interest in time travel. A realistic time machine might be a device that opens a stable wormhole and keeps it under control. However, this machine, based on wormholes, would have limitations. You couldn't travel back to a time before the machine was built. And again, we're stuck because we don't know how to create wormholes. Another theory of a time machine is a huge spinning cylinder. Scientists call it a Tipler cylinder or a Tipler time machine. This hypothetical object could potentially allow time travel, but for it to work, the cylinder would need to be infinitely long or made with negative energy, both of which are beyond our current capabilities. As we can see, building a time machine would require advanced materials that can withstand intense gravitational forces, as well as the development of energy production capable of sustaining such a device. But let's imagine that time travel could be real in the future. We might discover another way besides infinite spinning cylinders and wormholes. If so, why haven't we met any time travelers yet? Many argue that the absence of time travelers from the future suggests that such technology will never be developed, but that's just a theory. The lack of time travelers doesn't prove time travel is impossible. It might just be incredibly challenging, or perhaps time travelers are being cautious. What if time travelers are already among us but are in disguise or unnoticed? Maybe they're avoiding meddling with history to prevent paradoxes, like the famous grandfather paradox. This is a common objection to the idea of traveling back in time. If you were able to go back in time and murder your grandfather, preventing the existence of your father or mother, does that mean that you would never be born? In that case, how could you even go back in time and commit the deed? This can be confusing. But according to the Novikov self-consistency principle, it's impossible to create time paradoxes. Philosophers also debate whether such paradoxes prove time travel is impossible. They argue that even if you could travel to the past, it might be impossible to change anything. And who knows? With AI advancing at an alarming rate, maybe it could help physicists crack the code of time travel. What do you think? Is time travel something we'll ever achieve? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Did you enjoy this video? Subscribe and hit the notification bell to see more of our upcoming content.